So about a year ago now, I did a layout video, and well, I guess it's a sequel, because my goal for that was to use everything. Of course, not all the track, because I got too much track for that and not enough room, but I've used everything up here. And whenever people do these tours, they always either go for the sheds or where Thomas is. So you know what? I'm going to do neither. I'm going to go to the sheds, yeah, but I'm going to go to the narrow gauge ones, because unlike last year, we have a narrow gauge bit, and those tires have fallen out from this truck, so that's crazy. So in the shed, we got these trains. It comes here, and the narrow gauge section, essentially these two loops. So we'll come out to this one first. You go along to where Smudger has just killed James's passenger. You go through to Freddy, who's like on this bumpy bit, I guess. You go up, you go over, and then we come down. If I try not to kick anyone over. We come down to where Skarloey is at their quarry. Is it Blue Mountain? I doubt it. But there is a waterfall. It goes along. We have Rusty checking out the broken track, because that's his job. I've knocked him over with my thumb. We go up, we go down. There is Victor. We go through here and back in the sheds. Then if we go this way, we come along. We have Luke. Go over. We go over again where Percy has been a dumbass. Damn it, Percy. We have Duke. We go through this area. There's Chuck Armstrong and Mighty Mac. And it goes through and it comes out to Croven's Gate Station with Sir Handel. And that, my friends, or viewers, or enemies who found my account, is the narrow gauge section. That already took up about 2 minutes. However, we still have the whole rest of this thing to go. So we're going to take a look at the whole rest of this thing we have left to go, without me dying, let's hope. So we're going to go to Croven's Gate, which I used the Farquhar for, and if we come forward, we actually have Thomas. He is at the real Farquhar with Annie and Clarabelle and Bertie. Probably about to have a legal street race. And the other way is the paint factory with James and this whole disaster. That is Mayfway. Don't ask why it's at the Farquhar Quarry, or whatever quarry I've decided that to be. That is just the quarry, I guess. And then we have Daisy taking the milk. Goes up and over where Freddy was to this point where Stepney is. And this is just the mainland. It's the bridge, I guess. I know it's accurate, but I don't have a Vickerstown. And here we have Brendam Docks. Salty and Porter here, as you'd expect. Cranky is loading the ship. Duck and Oliver are doing whatever. The chocolate factory is here for some reason. And I don't know what these guys are doing, but they're doing something. Maybe this is actually the scrapyard, and it's just so close to the docks because that turntable was the last thing I needed to use, and it just works there, I guess. If we continue on through the docks lines, this one here actually takes us back to Thomas. That is a loop. Then if we go from where Oliver and Toad are, we come to Wellsworth with Edward. This is like all my Wellsworth stuff. The station, the crossing, and the water tower where Henry is. This is just a siding for Winston. We'll get to why he's there in a second. And then we loop around and we come to my take on Knapford. I think it's fancy. And he just fell over. So essentially what we have going on here is we've got this thing and the coal hopper. These two fake stations, and the yard is there. We'll get to the yard. We were on Gordon's line. This is the whole Hat resident place. Here's the only place on Duck's branch line with Bulgy. It loops around to where Diesel is. I don't know what that is, but I put 16 there. And then we have the main shed with Emily, Arthur, Hero, Donnie, and Dougie. There's a point there. We'll get to where Molly goes. And it takes us to Spencer. So I guess this is where we now... this is why Winston's here. It's just the whole Hat family stuff is all here. So we come to here, where we have the grassy area. Spencer's line goes to this switch. We have Whiff trapping Stanley and Billy. They probably ate his rubbish. And Whiff's track goes back into here. So this here is actually narrow gauge next to a Marin station. But it's here because it can kind of work as anything. Except, I guess it doesn't, because why would the narrow gauge guys be at Marin Station? That doesn't make any chronological sense. So it goes through this drawbridge thing, here where we have Splatter and Dodge with Mighty Mac. We go through, that's where Molly was, under my bed. And we go back up here where we have Percy dying. Goes all the way along to where we have Oily, D109, he's taking his train. And we go all the way down back to the docks. And I believe that is everything. Yeah, so I did this a year ago. This one is a lot more spread out than that one. That one was very skinny because at the time my bed was like going along here. So I had a much bigger space. I had to clear a lot of space in here. There was like a whole unit there I kicked out. I'm gonna get in trouble for that when my brother gets home. He'll be pissed, but I'm older than him, so I can beat him in a fight. That's how it works. So yeah. That is this glorious creation I've made. I like the grass area. That's nice. I don't really know how to finish this. I'll do another layout in another year, maybe. I don't know. I'm getting a windmill for my birthday. That's exciting. I'm gonna have a windmill. So, yeah, I guess that's the layout video. We'll close off on, I like doing gimmick things to close out on, so, oh, this track seems to be broken. What did you do? Ah! Yeah, okay, that works.